What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow is UFC 197, John Jones versus Ovince St. Preux for the interim light heavyweight title, and Demetrious Johnson versus Henry Cejudo for the flyweight title. We're here to talk about International Fight Week, which kicks off July 5th and runs through July 10th. It is the weekend of championships. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night we have fights. We have championship title matches. Rafael dos Anjos, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and Miesha Tate all defending their titles. We have a 3-day fan expo running Friday to Sunday at the Las Vegas Convention Center with everything from fighter signings, Hall of Fame inductions, martial arts tournaments, and tons of other good stuff. Tickets for the fan expo go on sale next Friday, April 29th at 12 p.m. All right, let's get to it. All right, calm down there, buddy. UFC Fight Night. Dos Anjos versus Alvarez, Thursday, July 7th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. Tickets on sale Friday, May 6th at 10 a.m. Lightweight contender in the world, Eddie Alvarez. The UFC lightweight world champion, Rafael dos Anjos. All right, the Ultimate Fighter finale Friday, July 8th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, live and free on Fox Sports 1 at 10 p.m. in the East, 7 in the West. Tickets on sale Friday, May 6th at 12 p.m. Gentlemen, the #1 strawweight in the world, Claudia Gadelha. And the UFC strawweight champion of the world, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. All right, UFC 200, the heavyweights, Velasquez versus Brown, Saturday, July 9th, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, only on pay-per-view. Tickets go on sale Friday, April 29th at 10 a.m. Number 7 ranked heavyweight in the world, Travis Brown. And the former UFC heavyweight champion, the #1 ranked heavyweight in the world, Cain Velasquez. All right, also at UFC 200, Tate versus Nunes for the Bantamweight Championship. For the Bantamweight title, Amanda Nunes. And the Bantamweight champion of the world, Miesha Tate. Also on UFC 200, Aldo versus Edgar. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Edgar. And the former featherweight champion of the world, Jose Aldo. And last but not least, everybody knows what's been going on with the main event of UFC 200. Nate Diaz wants to fight on UFC 200. He will fight on UFC 200. And we're going to find him a new opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, Nate Diaz. All right, who has the first question? Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, Dana, I guess two questions. First one for you. I'll go after what that guy over there said. Where's McGregor?
I think he's in Iceland.
Can you give us an update what's going on with that?
I mean, everybody knows. I mean, this thing is pretty much played out in the media. I mean, anybody who's sitting up here and anybody who's fought for the UFC over the last 16 years knows that, we try to give as much leeway as we can on things, but you have to show up to promote the fight. You have to show up to the press conferences and shoot the commercials. I mean, is it too much to ask to try to shoot a commercial or to do the promotion for the fight? I mean, a lot of these guys came here from different parts of the world, Brazil and New Jersey. These guys all came. They have better things to do, and they're here. It's part of the job. It's what we do here. It is what it is.
Who is Nate going to fight?
I don't know. We're going to figure that out. Obviously, we couldn't. We didn't make a fight that fast. And listen, we gave Conor every opportunity in the world to get here too. We get criticized a lot for bending too much for Conor, and we do. Conor is a guy who has stepped up and fought in big fights on short notice, and I respect Conor very much as a fighter, and I like him. But you have to show up and do this stuff.
I think it was UFC 69, right? Didn't you do the Ultimate Fighter here and do the press conference in Houston via satellite? Did you ever think of doing that with him today and having him on satellite as an accommodation?
Is that fair? We could have beamed Jose in from... I don't know if you guys remember the last time Conor was fighting Jose. Jose's sister was getting married. And he was sitting right here for that fight. Jose flew in for that press conference. He stayed here for most of the questions, and then for him to be able to get time to get back for his sister's wedding the next day, he had to leave, and he did it. And many fighters have done this and had to sacrifice certain things to be here. It's part of the job. It's the one thing that you have to do.
And then if I could ask, Nate, if I could ask you straight up in the middle, I just wanted to ask you, Nate, how have you taken all this? And so right now you don't really know who you're going to fight. Is there anybody out there, rumors of GSP being on the card? And I know, he fought your brother, maybe Robbie Lawler. Is there any thought in your mind of who you would prefer to fight? And how have you dealt with all this McGregor situation?
I came to fight Conor McGregor, and I don't really have too much interest in anybody else. I don't have any interest in fighting at all. But if that's what we were going to do, I thought we were going to do it.
Dana, just to be clear, everything that you said is 100% accurate and fair, but there is still nobody sitting there. So is Conor still in the running? Could this still happen? Since the promotion hasn't started with anybody else, couldn't he say yes? Or are we closing the door entirely and saying Conor McGregor is ruled out of UFC 200?
Listen, I just don't see how that's fair. You know what I mean? He came in from Stockton, days ago, Poland, Brazil, and the list goes on and on where these people have come from all over the world, And I get it. It's tough when you have to, leave everything you got going up. The fight's 3 months away. The fight's still 3 months away. That's why we do it this early, so we try not to interfere with their training and their lives and everything else. It's just part of the deal. These guys came. Listen, I was talking to some of the guys backstage, the fighter, they would like Conor to fight on the card too. People want Conor to fight. So do the fans, the media, everybody. You think I don't want Conor to fight? Of course I do. But it's not right. You can't not show up for this stuff. You can't do it. It's not right.
Definitively ruling him out at this point.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Do you see? Yes. Holy shit.
Just want to be clear. And then one other question for you. Khabib Nurmagomedov said that he was offered a fight with George St. Pierre at UFC 200. I just wanted to verify the accuracy of that and find out, does that mean that George is committed to potentially fighting either at 200?
To the best of my knowledge, that is completely inaccurate. Yeah, I wasn't in that meeting.
Fair enough. Thank you. If I could for Misha, please. Misha, after your last victory, of course, we immediately started wondering what was next, and the conversation was, is it Holly, is it Ronda? You end up with Amanda instead. What's your take on that? You know, when they came to you with the offer, what did you think? And do you feel she's a deserving #1 contender at this point?
Yeah, I love this fight. I always want to fight girls that are on a win streak and are the new hot thing coming up, and I think that's Amanda. I think she's one of the most well-rounded girls in the division. I think she poses problems that most of the other girls do not. So I'm very excited for the fight, but let me clarify, I'm not against a rematch with Holly. I'm getting a lot of heat for that, but at the end of the day, I'm not the matchmaker, and we agreed that Amanda is the next girl in line, so that's fine with me.
Thank you, Misha. And just one quickie for Joanna, if I could, please. Dana revealed to us that after Tough wrapped, you and Claudia kind of got into a little bit of a skirmish when the cameras were off. I'm curious if you could just recall what happened that day, kind of who was to blame for what happened and how it all went down.
It was a long time ago, so I don't remember. But I thought I asked Claudia if we could have some coffee after everything, but she said no, so her choice.
A question for
Gonna
Nate.
put the fist into your mouth, July 8th.
I think you need that somewhere else.
I told you when you send me few kisses in the gym, I say to you that I'm engaged. I'm not a different one, so.
I guess he's not doing
Stay
the
there.
right job, because if he was,
worry.
you wouldn't be that bitch.
When we came in for rehearsals, they had these two sitting right here, and I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Who's got the next question?
A question for Nate. Hey, Nate. Dana said at the top of the press conference that you're going to remain on the card, that they're going to find you a new opponent. I'm wondering if that interests you, if anyone outside of Conor McGregor interests you for UFC 200.
Ariel just got here.
I didn't ask for that fight, but he asked for it and he wanted it. And if that ain't gonna happen, I'm going on vacation.
So just to be clear, it's Conor or no one for you at 200, right? And I'm also wondering if you read what he wrote on Facebook yesterday and if you understood, you and your brother have sometimes had issues with doing media tours and things like that. Do you kind of understand where he's coming from a little bit?
He's got a lot of catching up to do, so there ain't no time for this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been dodging all this for years. I've been in trouble for it, So I understand, it's all good. Let him do his thing, get his train on, and then get ready to fight. It's all good with me.
So have you told Dana, say, look, this is the fight that I want, this is the fight that people want, let's just make the fight. If you're okay with it, have you tried to have that conversation with him?
Hey, that's what he wanted, and I'm down for whatever. Like I said, I'm going to come here to fight if we're going to get that fight going. If not, I'm going on vacation, for real.
And just for you, Dana, obviously this was a huge news story this week, and I'm wondering if you've looked at the amount of buzz this has generated and kind of thought, well, to Conor's point, the fight is even bigger now. So yeah, it maybe wasn't the plan, but let's roll with this, and now it's an even bigger fight and we'll make more